Every breakup eventually reaches the same place: silence. No more late-night calls, no more what-if conversations, no more desperate words thrown into a void where no answer comes back. Just silence. And in that silence, a quiet war begins. A war far more brutal than shouting matches or emotional pleas. A war that tests your discipline, your patience, and your very sense of self. Most men think no contact is about her. They see it as a strategy, a way to make her miss them, a way to trigger her emotions, a way to regain control of a story they think they've lost. But here's the truth most never understand. No contact isn't about her at all. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, breaking the chains of emotional dependency, and learning that your validation never needed to come from her in the first place. The silent battle is the hardest battle you'll ever fight, because it isn't fought with words or gestures. It's fought in the quiet moments, when your mind screams for answers, when you feel the urge to break the silence, when every instinct tells you to reach out just to feel something. And yet, the man who stays still, the man who masters himself instead of trying to control her, wins something far greater than a response. He wins himself. The Stoics understood this deeply. Zeno, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all taught that true power is internal. You cannot control the world. You cannot control her. But you can control yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your responses. That is where strength lives. That is what makes silence not just a tactic, but a discipline. A spiritual forge that builds a man into someone calm, unshakable, and whole. In this video, we'll break down exactly how to win the silent battle, not with tricks, not with manipulation, but with Stoic mastery, the discipline to detach, to grow, and to use the silence not as a punishment, but as a weapon of transformation. If you're ready to stop chasing, stop bleeding your power into the past, and start mastering the only battle that matters, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I master the silence. Now let's begin. Number 1. Understanding the real purpose of no contact. Most men approach no contact with the wrong mindset. They see it as a chess move, a tactic designed to make her miss them or regret her decision. They're still trapped in the same dynamic, still thinking about her, still letting her hold the strings, still hoping that silence will somehow bring her back. But here's the hard truth. If your silence is about her, you've already lost. The real purpose of no contact is liberation, not manipulation. It's about cutting the cord that keeps you emotionally enslaved to her approval, her presence, or her validation. It's about reclaiming every ounce of energy you've been giving away and redirecting it inward, into your growth, your discipline, your mission. Epictetus said it best. No man is free who is not master of himself. No contact is that mastery in action. It's the decision to stop reacting and start choosing. It's the moment you stop letting someone else's absence dictate your worth, and you finally understand that your value has always been yours to define. From a psychological perspective, this is where true healing begins. Every text you don't send, every social media profile you don't check, every moment you choose to sit in stillness instead of chasing closure is a moment you rewire your brain. Those chemical loops, the dopamine hits from her attention, the obsessive thoughts, start to weaken. Clarity starts to return, and with that clarity comes power. No contact isn't about punishment. It's not about teaching her a lesson. It's about teaching yourself that you are enough without her, that your peace, your confidence, and your future aren't tied to her choices. When you finally grasp this truth, the silent battle stops being a game and becomes something sacred. It becomes the discipline that transforms you, not just in this season of your life, but forever. The real win isn't when she reaches out. It isn't when she regrets losing you. The real win is when you wake up one morning and realize you no longer need her to feel whole. That's when you've mastered the silence. That's when you've mastered yourself. Number 2. The psychological pull of silence. Silence is louder than words. When you go no contact, not as a performance, but as a disciplined act of detachment, it creates a psychological shift that few people can handle. Humans are wired for patterns. She had a pattern with you. She spoke, you answered. She pulled away, you chased. She tested, you reassured. And then suddenly, nothing. No calls, no texts, no validation, just silence. That silence creates a vacuum, and the human brain hates vacuums. When a predictable pattern disappears, it triggers tension. Questions begin to spiral. Why isn't he chasing? Did he move on? Does he not care anymore? That tension grows, and the silence becomes deafening, not because you're doing anything, but because you've stopped doing everything. The Stoics understood this dynamic long before modern psychology put words to it. By withdrawing from what you cannot control and focusing inward, you create space, not just in the external world, but in your own mind. And that space becomes power. From a psychological perspective, this shift is called pattern interruption. When you remove your energy from a dynamic that once fed her sense of control, it forces her to reassess the story she's been telling herself. And whether she admits it or not, that disruption plants a seed of uncertainty that grows with every day you remain silent. But here's the truth you need to remember. This isn't about playing games or trying to win. The pull of silence is a byproduct of your discipline, not the purpose of it. The purpose is always inward. The purpose is becoming the man who doesn't need to fill the silence because his life is already full of growth, purpose, and control. That's the paradox of silence. When you stop chasing it for her reaction, that's when the power of it becomes undeniable. Number 3, detachment versus pretending. There's a difference between true detachment and simply pretending not to care, and that difference is everything. Most men confuse the two. They cut off contact, they post Stoic quotes online, they tell themselves they're over it. But in reality, their every thought, their every action is still orbiting around her. That isn't detachment, that's performance. True detachment doesn't need an audience. It's quiet, it's internal. It's the discipline of a man who has accepted what is, who no longer fights against reality, and who refuses to let someone else's choices dictate his peace. It's the calm strength of a man who knows he doesn't need to prove anything, not to her, not to anyone. The Stoics wrote about this constantly. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Pretending is about controlling her perception of you. Detachment is about controlling yourself. From a psychological perspective, this difference matters because pretending keeps you tethered. If your silence is for her, she still holds the strings. Every post, every subtle signal, every moment you wonder if she's noticing keeps you trapped in the same loop you're trying to escape. But when you detach for you, when your silence is about healing, growth, and clarity, that's when the real transformation happens. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop pretending, the moment you stop performing, you step into a version of yourself that is magnetic. Not because you're trying to be, but because calm self-assurance is rare. The man who doesn't need to be seen is often the one everyone ends up noticing. Detachment isn't about indifference, it's about freedom. It's the quiet knowing that your worth is no longer tied to anyone else, and that silence, born from true acceptance, is the loudest thing you'll ever project. Number 4, why breaking no contact destroys you. Every man who's tried no contact knows the moment when the silence feels unbearable. The mind starts racing. Maybe if I just reach out once, maybe if I explain myself, she'll understand. Maybe if I show her I've changed, she'll come back. That temptation is powerful, and it's exactly why so many men fail. But here's the reality. Breaking no contact destroys you. Not just because it erases the progress you've made, but because it reinforces the very dynamic you're trying to escape. The moment you break, you send a message, not just to her, but to yourself. that your emotions control you, that your discipline is weak, and that her validation is still your lifeline. The Stoics warned about this. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When you reach out, you're grasping for control over something that isn't yours to command. And in that grasping, you give away the only real power you have, mastery over yourself. From a psychological perspective, breaking no contact resets the cycle. It reactivates the dopamine loops in your brain that keep you addicted to her attention. Every unanswered text, every cold reply, every polite but distant message drags you right back to square one. More desperate, more anxious, and more dependent than before. The silent battle isn't just about staying away from her, it's about proving to yourself that you can. Every day you maintain your silence is a small victory, a quiet reminder that you're stronger than your impulses. But the moment you break, you teach your mind the opposite, that you can't trust yourself, that your discipline collapses under pressure. This isn't about punishment or shame, it's about truth. Every time you break no contact, you rob yourself of the power that silence was building, and the man who keeps robbing himself will never become the man he's meant to be. The silence is hard, the urge is strong, but the man who endures it, the man who sits with the discomfort and doesn't flinch, is the man who wins. Number 5. The Stoic approach to the silent battle. The silent battle is not easy. It's a war fought in the quiet corners of your mind. Every day you'll feel the urge to break, to reach out, to fill the void with noise. But this is where the Stoic approach becomes your greatest weapon, because Stoicism isn't about avoiding pain, it's about mastering it, embracing it, and letting it forge you into something stronger. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That single line is the blueprint for no contact. You can't control her thoughts. You can't control her choices. You can't control the story she's writing in her mind. But what you can control, what you must control, is you, your choices, your energy, your discipline. The Stoic man understands that silence isn't a sign of weakness or fear. It's proof of mastery. Every time you feel that temptation to reach out and you don't, you're sharpening the blade of self-control. Every day you choose to focus inward, on your growth, your mission, your strength. You're building a foundation that no one can take from you. From a psychological perspective, this shift is transformative. The moment you stop viewing no contact as a tactic to win her back and start seeing it as a daily practice of discipline and self-respect, the entire game changes. You stop feeling powerless. You stop obsessing over what you can't control. Instead, you move with calm certainty because you finally realized that your peace is yours to create and yours alone. And here's the beauty of the Stoic approach. Over time, that silence stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like freedom. You're no longer trying to win anything. You've already won the only battle that matters, the battle with yourself. Number 6. The power of redirection. Silence without action is just waiting, and waiting is weakness. The real strength in no contact isn't found in sitting still, counting days, and hoping she notices. It's found in redirection, taking all the energy you once poured into her and investing it into yourself. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from turning your attention away from what you can't control and focusing on what you can. That's what redirection is, shifting your focus from her world to yours, from her choices to your growth, from her silence to your mission. Psychologically, this is what accelerates your healing. The brain hates a void. When you cut her out of your daily life, there's an emptiness that follows, a sense of loss, of routine disrupted. But when you redirect that energy into building your body, your business, your discipline, you don't just fill the void, you transform it. What once felt like pain starts to feel like progress. Start simple. Hit the gym with relentless consistency. Build that side hustle you've been procrastinating on. Read, write, learn. Feed your mind. Push yourself into new environments. Expand your world so much that hers no longer feels like the center of it. And here's the quiet truth. Redirection doesn't just help you heal, it evolves you. Every ounce of energy you stop bleeding into the past becomes fuel for the man you're becoming. And that man? He doesn't chase. He doesn't wait. He doesn't even care if she's watching, because his life has become bigger than her. The silent battle isn't truly won by waiting her out. It's won when you use that silence to build a version of yourself so powerful, so disciplined, that her absence stops feeling like loss and starts feeling like freedom. Number 7. When she breaks the silence. If you stay disciplined long enough, there will often come a moment when she breaks the silence. It might be a casual text, a question that doesn't really need an answer. A simple, "Hey, how have you been?" And in that moment, your emotions will surge. You'll feel that pull, the old need for validation, the rush of dopamine, the temptation to see her message as a victory. But here's the reality. That moment is not the finish line, it's the test. And whether you pass or fail depends entirely on the man you've become in the silence. The Stoics would tell you that your response, or your lack of one, must come from a place of calm, not ego. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Your silence has built strength. Don't let an impulsive reaction tear it down. From a psychological perspective, her reaching out doesn't always mean what you think it means. Sometimes it's curiosity. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's just a way to confirm you're still there, still orbiting her world. None of that changes what matters most: you. If you do respond, do it with calm detachment. Not to spark a new cycle, not to prove anything, but to show that your peace is no longer tied to her attention. And if you choose not to respond, do it from strength, not spite. Because silence, when it comes from true detachment, is louder than any reply you could ever send. The man who wins the silent battle understands this. Her breaking the silence is not the victory. The victory is that you no longer need her to. Number 8. True mastery is indifference. Indifference is the highest form of power, not fake indifference, the kind you perform to make her think you don't care, but the kind that grows quietly within you as you master yourself. The kind where her actions, whether she reaches out, moves on, or stays silent, no longer disrupt your peace. The Stoics taught that freedom isn't found in controlling others, it's found in controlling yourself. Epictetus said, "Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly." That's true indifference. It's not numbness, it's not coldness, it's acceptance, a calm knowing that your worth is not tied to someone else's presence or approval. From a psychological perspective, true indifference rewires everything. You stop riding the emotional highs and lows of her actions. Your validation stops coming from her attention and starts coming from within, from the quiet pride of a man who knows who he is and where he's going. And here's the paradox. When you reach this level, you become magnetic. Not because you're trying to be, but because calm confidence is rare. People are drawn to the man who doesn't need anything from them. But by the time that happens, you won't even care, because the man who has mastered indifference has already won. This is the ultimate victory in the silent battle, not her regret, not her attention, not her apology. It's the quiet strength of knowing that you've built a life so full, so disciplined, so grounded, that no one, past, present, or future, has the power to shake it. Number 9. The paradox of no contact. The paradox of no contact is simple but profound. The moment you stop needing it to work is the moment it truly does. Most men start no contact with a hidden agenda. They think, if I stay silent, she'll miss me. She'll regret leaving. She'll come back. But that mindset keeps you chained to her. Every day of silence isn't strength. It's waiting. It's hoping. It's building your self-worth around what she does or doesn't do. And that's why so many men feel powerless, even when they're technically winning the game. The breakthrough comes when you finally stop caring whether she reacts at all, when the silence stops being about her and becomes about you, your peace, your growth, your discipline. That's when no contact stops being a tactic and starts being freedom. The Stoics would call this apatheia, not apathy, but freedom from unhealthy attachments. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is too short to waste on what you cannot control. And when you internalize that truth, you stop obsessing over the outcome and start mastering the process. Psychologically, this shift is everything. The chemical hooks in your brain, the addiction to her validation, the constant need for her response begin to loosen. You stop riding emotional highs and lows. You feel calmer, stronger, unshakable. And here's the irony. It's usually at this point, when you no longer need her attention or approval, that she feels the weight of your absence the most. But by then, you've outgrown the version of yourself that would have cared. That's the paradox of no contact. The silence doesn't change her, it changes you. And when you change, you don't just win the silent battle, you transcend it. Number 10. Rebuilding beyond the battle. The silent battle isn't the destination, it's the doorway. What you do beyond that silence determines whether this season becomes your prison or your foundation. Too many men win no contact, but never rebuild. They sit in the quiet, waiting, obsessing, or clinging to the hope that she'll come back. And in doing so, they waste the most valuable opportunity of their lives. The true purpose of no contact is not to get her back, it's to get you back. To strip away the neediness, the self-doubt, the constant craving for validation, and replace it with something unshakable. A life that you own, a mission that drives you, and a sense of self that no one can take away. The Stoics lived for this kind of growth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is fleeting, that time is short, and that the highest good is to live with virtue, purpose, and discipline. That's what rebuilding beyond the battle really means. Turning your silence into action, your pain into fuel, and your loss into liberation. Psychologically, this rebuild rewires your identity. The man you become during and after this process is not the same man who entered it. You'll notice it in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you respond to challenges. You'll move through life with calm confidence because you've proven to yourself that you can conquer the hardest thing of all, your own mind. And here's the truth. Once you've rebuilt, you'll never fight for attention again. You won't need to, because the man who is full within himself doesn't seek validation from others. He attracts it without trying. Rebuilding beyond the battle isn't about revenge or regret. It's about freedom. It's about finally living your life on your terms, with a strength that silence forged and discipline refined. The silent battle was never about her. It was never about who texts first, who gives in, or who wins. It was about you, your discipline, your growth, your ability to rise above the noise and master yourself. No contact isn't a game. It's a declaration. It says, I will not chase what has left. I will not beg for what isn't mine to control. I will build myself instead. That is what true strength looks like. That is what Stoicism teaches. And when you finally understand that, you stop caring about her silence, her reaction, or her regret. Because you've already won the only battle that matters, the battle with yourself. If you're ready to stop chasing, to stop bleeding your energy into the past, and to start building a life so full, so powerful, that you never fight for attention again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I master the silence. Thanks for watching Stoic Blessing, where men rise, rebuild, and become untouchable.